actually got an email from Dan Boudreaux's attorney. His lawyer. I sent it to you in email form. She took a photograph of it. He was getting it notarized this morning before they emailed it to me. I could not get the photograph. I emailed it to Mr. Halstead and to you. I don't know what to say other than this is the best I could do. If you want to compare it with the original.
So here's what I want to do on the Home Depot video. This is the one where we don't have, we don't have a 902.11 affidavit. And so the requirement of any party that is trying to introduce an item into evidence is that you have to prove that it is authentic, that it is what the proponent purports it to be. And Rule 902 says extrinsic evidence of authenticity as a condition precedent to admissibility is not required as to the following. And then it lists a bunch of things, including certified records of business records, certified records of regularly conducted activity, and what we call business records. And so we don't have that for the Home Depot video. So there does have to be extrinsic evidence. Remember, 902 says extrinsic evidence of authenticity as a condition precedent is not required in these. And so what we have to have, short of that, is some extrinsic evidence. And what the state has presented this morning is the testimony of Special Agent King, who says he went to the particular store and he met with a particular person who I believe at the Home Depot was Aaron Haskins, and he viewed the video in the store after telling them what it is that he's looking for. And he saw the store security video, which is pretty easy to tell. It's a Home Depot store video purchasing the item that he was searching for, and purportedly to be the defendant making that purchase. And so as far as authenticity, I don't have any question at all that the video is what purports to be, and that is what's required. And so we do have testimony of a witness with knowledge. It's Agent King who went and watched this. And so it certainly would have been a whole lot less messy if we had the records custodian submit an affidavit. I'm not sure how difficult that is. But it doesn't change the fact that I do believe that the video is authentic, that there's no question to that. And so I think it's proper to admit it, and I'm going to allow the state to bring it in through Agent King. All right, and everything else I think we've got affidavits for that I previously ruled on. I think Dan Boudreaux's is okay as well, too. But I do want to take out that language. We can just white it out on the original. Let's see.
I omitted the second and third paragraphs.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And I would say that Aaron Haskins was in contact with our office, Judge, but he works as an emergency first responder, and he responded to the situation in Louisiana with the hurricane, and I think that's probably why he never got back in touch with us.
So. All right. So that's what we're going to do. Jonah, you ready for your next witness?
I think we're going to start very quickly with Wassman. And we're not going to publish it. We're just going to get it in.
Halstead, are you ready, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, it's okay. I just didn't want to rush you. All right, everybody may be seated. All right, good morning to our jury. welcome back. Thank you for your patience this morning. I had a couple legal issues that we needed to address. It really keeps us from having interruptions in the middle of testimony if we do deal with those things first thing. So thank you for waiting on me, but we're ready to resume the state's proof. Joan, if you please call your next witness. Also, will you please come forward? You can go ahead and have a seat. You've already been sworn.
Sir.
You can go ahead and remove your mask. I understand you are still under yesterday's oath?
Yes, sir.
All right. May I begin it direct?
Thanks. And if you would speak loudly in the microphone, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday when you testified, were you referencing a report that you documented all your findings with regard to the cell phone 1, cell phone 2, and the stand-up computer or desktop computer from the residence at 11434 Golden View Lane?
That's correct.
Okay, it's been pre-marked as State's Exhibit 648, sir, and ask you if you recognize that document.
Yes, I do.
And what is it, sir?
This is a itemized timeline of the artifacts that I discovered on the computer, the phones, the computer, and the 2 cell phones we discussed yesterday.
Is that a fair and accurate copy of the report that you generated?
Yes, it is.
Your Honor, we move that in as State's Exhibit 648.
Any additional objections?
No, Your Honor.
D 648.
We'll pass witness.
Cross-examination.
No further questions.
Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
All right, next witness.
Your Honor, Lieutenant Scott Henning.
So if you please come to the witness stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the case now on trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please have a seat, sir.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Lieutenant Scott Henning.
And by whom are you employed?
I'm employed with the East Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office.
In what capacity?
I'm a supervisor in the Homicide Division.
And how long have you been employed with the Sheriff's Department, East Baton Rouge?
I've been employed there since December 2010.
And what various assignments have you held over the course of your career?
I've been in uniform patrol, and I've also got a little over 10 years in investigations.
Okay. I want to talk to you about November 2016. What assignment did you carry at that in that year, sir?
During that time, I was assigned to the Homicide Division.
Okay. And at some point, did you assist Knox County in taking Joel Michael Guy Jr. into custody?
Yes, sir.
And is Mr. Guy present in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
If you point him out.
He's seated to the far right.
The record reflect the witness identified Joel Guy Jr. And subsequent to his arrest, sir, did he at some point get transported to the headquarters?
Yes, sir. After he was taken into custody, he was transported to our office at the Violent Crime Unit.
And while he was there, did you have the occasion to photograph him?
Yes, sir. My crime scene tech actually took the photographs, but I was present when he was photographed.
Okay. Can you recall the date of the arrest, sir?
It was November 29th, 2016.
to show you, sir, what's going to be pre-marked as States Exhibits 649 through 672, sir. Ask you to thumb through those, and without individually identifying, if you can tell us what that package is.
These are a series of photographs that were taken at our office.
And those fairly and accurately depict the photos that were taken on November 29th, 2016.
Yes, sir.
And at this point, we move those into evidence and ask to publish.
Any objection? The exhibit 649 through 672, you may publish.
And then direct your attention to the overhead board. If you could identify exhibit 649.
This is a photograph. This was taken in our kind of a booking area just outside of our temporary holding cells at our office. It's just an overall photograph of Mr. Guy.
Okay. And is this how Mr. Guy appeared on November 29th, 2016?
Yes, sir.
Next photo.
This is just a little bit closer up angle of his face and upper torso.
And did you have the occasion to observe the physical appearance of Mr. Guy with regard to any injuries that are apparent on his body?
Yes, sir.
In this photograph, are there any injuries depicted?
Yes, sir. There was some bruising that was noted on the upper portion of his right arm. You can kind of see it just underneath the sleeve of the shirt.
Is that present now, sir?
Yes, sir.
Next photo.
This is a photograph of just kind of the portion of his body.
In this photo, are there any apparent injuries obvious to you?
Yes, sir. There's on his, what would be, I guess it's his right thumb. There's an injury that's noted. Also on it, it's kind of hard. Can you zoom in just a little bit? Yes, sir. His right thumb, and then there's also an injury to his left hand. You can kind of see it on the inside of the thumb nearest the second finger.
Next photo.
This is a photograph that was taken, kind of a top view of his hands.
And are there any injuries apparent to you on his hands?
Yes, sir. Again, you can see that slice to the inside of his left thumb. There's some scratches, I believe, to both hands, and up above the wrist on the right side.
Next photo.
Again, this is just kind of a wider view of that previous photograph.
Next photo.
This is a close-up photograph of the injury to the left thumb. And you can see that at this point, it looks like it's beginning the healing process, starting to scab up.
Next photo.
This is a photograph of just the underside, the palm side of his hands. Again, you can see there's a slice on his right hand, also several scratches on both palms. This is just another photograph of that same area. And again, you can see the several slice marks and cuts on his hands and fingertips. This is just a zoomed in photograph of the injury to his palm. This is zoomed in photograph of what looks like a cut or slice to his to the tip of his finger or middle of his finger. This is a photograph, kind of a close-up photograph of that bruising that I spoke of earlier on his right arm. And there's also a scratch at the near the crease of the elbow. And again, this is that same arm, same injury, just a closer view of it. This is an overall view of his backside. This is a more focused view, kind of capturing the upper portion of his torso, or the back.
Any injuries apparent to you on the back of his arm, sir?
Can you zoom in a little bit towards the right? I'm having trouble seeing on the screen. Yes, there's what appears to be scratches on the back of his right elbow. And again, that bruising that we saw on the front view of the upper arm, it's a little more apparent here in this photograph from the backside.
When you say bruising, is that one arm or both?
It appears to be both arms. This is a photograph, kind of the lower portion of his body, again from the backside. This is a photograph of the front of his legs. We had noticed that there were some scratches and bruising on the upper portion of his legs that were initially covered by his shorts. We had him raise his shorts up so that we could photograph those injuries. And this is a closer view of a scratch on the top side of his left leg. This is a photograph of a back profile with his shirt removed. This is a photograph that kind of focused in on the upper right portion of his back. And as you can kind of see in the photograph, there appears to be some bruising, maybe some red marks in this photograph. This is a side profile of Mr. Guy. This depicts his right side. Yes, sir. Again, you can see the bruising on the upper portion of the arm above the elbow, and what appears to be some kind of abrasion or brush burn type injury. And this is just another photograph of that same profile. This is a more focused, zoomed in photograph of that same arm and those same injuries. And this is a side profile of his left side of his body.
Your Honor, I want to make a correction. It's actually good at 649 through 671.
671.
Yes, sir. Lieutenant Henning, after Mr. Guy was taken into custody, did the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Department take possession of his vehicle?
Yes, sir, we did.
And was his vehicle parked at the location where he was taken into custody?
Yes, sir, it was.
And what did you do with his vehicle after it was impounded?
Once the vehicle was impounded in our crime scene garage, we obtained a search warrant for that vehicle.
And did you ultimately conduct a search of the interior of the vehicle?
Yes, sir. Myself, our crime scene personnel, as well as the detectives from Knox County.
And was that documented through the use of photography?
Yes, sir. exhibit 672 through 700.
Show you it's going to be pre-marked as states exhibits 672 through 700, sir. And again, ask you to thumb through those and tell us if you can identify what they are, sir.
These are photographs that were taken inside of our crime scene garage of Mr. Guy's vehicle.
And those are fair and accurate copy of the compilation photos that you took on November 29th, 2016?
Yes.
Now we move those into evidence and ask to publish.
Any additional objection? There we go. 672 through 700. You may publish.
This is just a photograph of the exterior passenger side of Mr. Guy's vehicle. And this is a kind of an overall photograph of the front of the vehicle. This is a photograph of a Louisiana State University parking pass. This is a photograph depicting the VIN number for the vehicle. Again, this is kind of an overall photograph of the front and front driver's side of the vehicle. This is an overall photograph of the rear driver's side and the trunk area of the vehicle.
And what is the license plate number of the Louisiana Tag?
It is Z Zebra I Ida J John 752. And again, this is just an overall photograph of the license plate in the rear of the vehicle. Like just a different angle, same view. This is a close-up photograph of that license plate. And this is a kind of an overall view from the rear, capturing the passenger side of the vehicle. This is a photograph into the passenger compartment of the vehicle through at this point, the driver's door has been opened, and it's just an overall photograph. Same thing, this is a look in the interior through the rear driver's door. Again, same thing, this one is through the front passenger door. This is a more focused photograph of the front passenger floorboard. There were numerous Ziploc bags on that floorboard that contained various loose pills, medication. Again, this is just a closer view of those Ziploc bags, and you can see the pills in several of different bags. This is a photograph of the kind of center console area as well as the two front seats. This is again taken from that front passenger door. This is a view into the rear passenger compartment through the rear passenger door. This is a photograph of the trunk once it was opened.
Did you have occasion to document what items were in the trunk, sir?
Yes, sir. There's a large red gas can. There is what appears to be a meat grinder of some sort, some type of kitchen appliance, a large bowl, metal bowl, and like I believe it's a mixer type thing. This is a more focused photograph. This one is kind of focused on the gasoline can that was in the trunk. And again, this is that large bowl. You can see the meat grinder here, or parts of the meat grinder. This is a photograph of the, so where the spare tire would be inside of the trunk. Once that flooring, the carpet was raised, these are the items that were there. Again, you can see a spare tire, floor jack, what I believe is an air compressor, and another gas can. This is a photograph of the gas can that was found in the, I guess, the main portion of the trunk, if you will. This is once it's been removed from the vehicle, it's photographed on the ground.
And what's the capacity in terms of liquid?
This is a 5-gallon, 18.9 liter container.
And the manufacturer, sir?
It's American, AMERICAN. This is just a closer up view of the manufacturer's label that shows the barcode and some of the other information about the gas can. And this is a photograph of the entire label. This is a photograph of a receipt from, I'm trying to find the business name on here. I believe it's a McDonald's. I see McRib on there. That was taken or received from a store in Trenton, Georgia. This is a photograph of a Walmart receipt that was dated 11/24/2016 here in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is a photograph of a Capital One Bank ATM receipt. It was dated 11/29/2016 at 11:48 a.m. and it was from the Capital One Bank at 3930 Burbank Drive in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is a photograph of the Louisiana motor vehicle registration certificate, and it has the same VIN number that we observed on the vehicle, and also shows that Joel Michael Guy Jr. Is the registered owner of that vehicle.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Have a safe trip home. Next witness.
Before we do that, I need wrong again. It's 672 through 699. I apologize.
Yeah, you don't count the zero, right?
I went to law school.
He says that. I'm not sure that's. Yeah, just a second, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in the case now on trial be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please have a seat, sir. Speak to the microphone.
Please state your name for the record.
Last name Coleman, first name Jerry, Gerry.
And Agent Coleman, can you tell the jury where you were employed?
FBI New Orleans Violent Crimes Task Force.
All right. And were you employed in that capacity back on December the 1st, 2016?
Yes.
And did you assist agents from Knox County Sheriff's Office and the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office with respect to an investigation involving the defendant?
Yes.
And as part of your responsibilities, did you go to a location in Napoleonville, Louisiana on December the 1st, 2016?
Yes.
And do you tell the jury, please, the name of that establishment?
It was an Ace hardware store, and it was located in Napoleonville, Louisiana.
How far is Napoleonville, Louisiana from Baton Rouge, if you had to estimate?
25, 35 miles,
Okay. When you
probably
were,
a 30-minute drive, perhaps.
when you were there, did you speak to the owner of that business, Mr. Dan Boudreau?
Yes.
And did you receive from him video footage of a transaction that occurred on November the 7th, 2016?
Yes.
And as part of your duties, did you preserve that video surveillance footage?
Yes.
And was that forwarded to the Knox County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
And again, your contact with Mr. Boudreau was on December the 1st, 2016. Is that right?
That sounds right. Yes, ma'am.
And the video footage was was from November the 7th, 2016 at, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review this video footage in anticipation of your testimony here today?
Yes.
And does the footage accurately reflect the footage that you observed on December the 1st, 2016?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Your Honor, please, at this time, we would ask to introduce Exhibit 700 along with the accompanying affidavit, which we intend to supplement.
All right, the video will be 700. We'll make the affidavit 701. And then I'll make this 718 ready.
May you publish this, Your Honor, please?
You may publish over previously.
Again, sir, this is the Ace Hardware store in Napoleonville, Louisiana. Is that
Yes.
correct? We're going to fast forward it just a bit, just to the relevant portion. If I could direct your attention to the middle of the screen. Did you observe a man in a white T-shirt and gray shorts entering the establishment?
I did.
individual in the frame now, in the white t-shirt?
I do. I do. Yes. Yes.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in the case now on trial will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Have a seat, Special Agent. You may remove your mask once you're seated.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, as a preliminary matter pursuant to 902 affidavits that the court has had an occasion to review, we'd first move in the 902 affidavit pertaining to a Lowe's transaction that occurred on November the 7th, 2016. And we also move in an Academy Sports transaction that occurred on November the 18th, November the 19th, and November the 29th of 2016.
So the affidavit for Lowe's,
Yes, sir.
702, and a video. Is it a video? Is that what it is?
There's a video that accompanies it, as well as 2 receipts from Academy Sports.
So the video for Lowe's is 703. And then you have one affidavit from Academy.
Yes, Your Honor.
That'll be 704. And what else do we have from Academy that goes with the affidavit?
We have video.
There's one.
Yes, Your Honor.
That'll be 705. All right, folks, the court is going to admit into evidence Exhibits 702 and 703, which purport to be an affidavit from Lowe's custodial records and accompanying video, and 704, an affidavit from Academy Sports, and what purports to be a video from the store will be 705.
And Your Honor, just to be clear, with the Lowe's affidavit, there's an accompanying security video disc as well as 2 receipts.
Just tell me that.
Okay.
I missed it both times. So let me, is it 2 receipts on separate pages?
Yes, Your Honor. I think we could do this as a collective 703.
All right, we'll make it collective 703. The video will be 703A, receipt 1 will be 703B, and receipt 2 will be 703C. Sorry about that.
Tell us your name, sir,
It's Robert King, K-I-N-G.
and by whom you employed, sir.
Currently employed with Azimuth, Inc., a company out of West Virginia.
In November of 2016, who were you employed by?
I was a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
And have you since retired, sir?
Yes, sir.
And how long did you serve with the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Just shy of 22 years.
And in November of 2016, what assignment did you have, sir?
I was assigned to the New Orleans Baton Rouge office, and I was working violent crime.
And did you have occasion to assist in an arrest of Joel Michael Guy Jr. in Baton Rouge?
Yes, I did.
And was that on November the 29th, 2016?
Yes, sir.
And is he present in the courtroom today, sir?
It's a gentleman over there in the, I believe, either dark blue or black tie, the one on the right.
The record reflects the witness identified Mr. Guy.
Very well.
And, sir, I want to talk to you about how you assisted law enforcement. Did you, in your capacity as an FBI agent, travel to various stores and review surveillance systems to see whether or not Joel Michael Guy was present on the surveillance security systems?
Yes, sir.
Starting with Lowe, sir, have you had a chance to review that video prior to testifying today?
Yes, sir.
And I want to talk to you about what you physically did. Did you go into Lowe's and view the video at Lowe's physically in Baton Rouge?
Yes, sir.
And did you talk with a Charles Spears?
That's correct.
And what was his job within Lowe's?
He was one of their asset protection managers.
And do you recall what day you did that on, sir?
I'd have to refer to the report, but
Was it short in time after the arrest?
oh, yes, sir.
I'm in pro term. Hand me a report. Call it 302, sir. Yes, sir.
It was November 30th, yes, sir.
So when you are going to review these various videos, do you already know what Joel Michael Guy looks like, sir?
Oh, yes, I do.
At this point, we'd ask to introduce and publish State's Exhibit 704, being the Lowe's surveillance video.
704 in the Academy, 703A is
Okay.
the Lowe.
703A. Directing your attention to overhead board, sir. I'm asking if you could describe to us what you're watching on the security surveillance system.
It's the overhead camera at the Lowe's Home Improvement in Gonzales, Louisiana, where you can see the customer checking out.
And did you see what type of transaction that was, sir?
He purchased an item. It's hard to tell just on the video.
Did you see whether or not he used cash or a card?
I believe it was cash.
Next, I want to ask you, sir, if you had the cause to travel to Home Depot in Baton Rouge.
Yes, sir.
And on that date, did you speak with Aaron Haskins, sir?
The initial contact was via phone, and then subsequently I met there and picked up a video.
And tell us what you did inside Home Depot. First of all, what date did you go to Home Depot?
I'd have to refer back to the report.
Okay. May I approach, John?
Sir.
Thank you. I contacted him via phone on 12/6, and then actually physically went there on 12/7.
12/7, okay. So 12/7, you went to Home Depot in Baton Rouge and spoke with Aaron Haskins? And
Yeah.
Are you aware of what his position was within Home Depot?
I can't remember the exact term, but one of the asset protection people did. I believe he was a district manager dealing with security issues.
And did you have a chance to view the video live while you were in the store?
Yes, sir. That's kind of standard what I do. When I go pick up a video, a lot of times early in the career, you get back to the office and they wouldn't work because everybody's players are different. So when I pick one up now from a business, I always watch it, make sure it works before I take it and leave. So we watched it there. Then I returned to our office, which was not even a quarter mile probably from that Home Depot, put it in our player, made sure it actually worked on ours as well, and then forwarded it to the sheriff's office here.
Okay. And was the video same as it was in the store, sir, when you subsequently viewed it in your office?
Yes, sir.
And did you also obtain two receipts from two transactions that occurred on November 18th, 2016?
Yes.
And did the video show two transactions that occurred on November 18th, 2016?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to review the video prior to testifying today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
approaching with what's been pre-marked as States Exhibit 706, 707, and 708, sir. Starting with 706, I'm going to ask if you are familiar with that document, if you could tell us what it is, sir.
It's a sales receipt from a Home Depot store by our office with the cash amounts listed and the particular items.
And what items were purchased, sir?
Like a,
Get you to speak.
sorry. Looks like a sprayer and then a 1.5 gallon sprayer and then a 32-ounce bottle is what's listed.
And is that a fair and accurate copy of the receipt that you obtained from Mr. Haskins at Home Depot?
Yes, sir.
We moved that into States Exhibit 706. Next, I'm going to hand you.
What was the date on that purchase?
This is 11/18/2016. 707, sir, if you can tell us what that document is.
It's another receipt from 11/18 from the Home Depot, same store. A 12-inch brown cord, another 12-inch brown cord, digital HTT, and another digital HTT, and then the totals are out with the sale.
And did those purchases in form of receipt, do they correspond to the video transaction, sir?
Yes, sir.
Now we move that into States Exhibit 707.
Previous objection to 707. What was the date on that? Same day?
Same day, Your Honor, a couple minutes apart. Next, I'm going to hand you States Exhibit 708, sir, and ask you if you recognize that disc.
Yes, sir.
And if you could tell us what that is, sir.
It's the video footage that I received from Home Depot on the 7th.
And again, does that disc contain the transactions that the receipts are connected to?
Yes.
And we move that into States Exhibit 708, sir, with regards to publishing to it.
Oh, a previous objection that they did is 708 and they published.
Starting with Exhibit 706, sir.
Okay. The Home Depot receipt.
This what you just looked at on the stand, sir?
Yes.
Exhibit 707.
Same thing, the second receipt dated 11/18.
And what time did this transaction take place?
This one was, I believe, 2:49 p.m.
The individual coming into view in a white shirt, you recognize that individual?
Yes, sir, that's the defendant, and these are the overhead cameras from Home Depot.
And the date and time stamp on the video, sir?
11/18/2006 at 2:49 and 47 seconds. This was the self-checkout.
Okay.
And he's using cash, not a card. Yes, sir. That's the defendant wearing the white T-shirt. November 18th, 2006 at 3:01. It was shortly after the first purchase. And this one would coincide with the sprayer bottle receipt. Yes, sir.
Again, how's the paying for these items, sir?
It was a cash transaction.
And sir, did you also have the cause to travel to Academy Sports located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana?
Yes, sir, I did.
And did you make contact with Jeff Graybill?
Yes, sir.
And what was his title within Sports Academy?
I can't remember offhand, but he would have been one of the asset protection people.
Okay. And did you then look at their surveillance system, sir?
Yes, sir.
And were you able to identify whether or not the defendant was present in Academy Sports on November 18th and November 19th, November 29th, 2016?
Yes, sir, we were.
Have you had a chance to review that video before testifying today, sir?
Yes, sir.
This is Exhibit 744, Your Honor. And the evidence that has to publish at this time.
We already introduced that one, right?
Josh?
Did we already introduce that one?
We did. 704. Starting on the 18th, sir, direct your attention to the entrance. Could you tell us the date stamp, sir?
It was the 18th, November 18th, 2016. I'm sorry.
And roughly what time, sir?
If you can push back up, the timestamp would be at the bottom.
Is there one located anywhere else on the screen, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, top left. It's at 4:23 p.m., right at 4:24 p.m. on 11/18. And that's the defendant walking through the front doors.
Next, looking at the ammo and electronics section of the store, November 18th. You know, I can fast forward to the court light for relevant portions.
That's fine.
Defendant present on the screen, sir.
Yes, sir, he's walking. He has something in his right hand, walking towards the where the firearms are located, and stops and looks there. And this was roughly 4:26, 4:27 p.m.
Is this still on the 18th, sir?
Yes, sir.
Next, looking at register 2, sir. November 18th, 2016.
This would have been 11:18, just a couple minutes after he walked away from the other video.
You see the defendant present in screen, sir?
Bottom right corner.
Is that a better view?
Yes, sir.
You have the exit camera November 18th, 2016.
Eleven 2020. About 2 minutes after he made the purchase, he walked outside.
Is that 2016, sir?
Yes, 16, I'm sorry.
Going to the following day, November 19th, 2016. Referring to the entrance. What does the date and timestamp say?
It's November 19th, 2016 at 9:06 a.m. the following morning. That's the defendant walking in with a bag.
And on electronics on November 19th, 2016.
Same thing, November 19th, 2016, 9:07. He walks back, same aisle he was in the previous day, same section. Picks up a different item and then walks out of view.
Register 21 and 22 from 11/19/16.
This was at 9:07.
Is he coming to the bench, sir?
Yes, sir. He's at the top of the frame walking. And that's the area where you do returns in that store. And this was at 9:07. Like you said, it's just looking from a different angle.
Can you see what he has in his hand, sir?
It was some type of knife or blade. This was at 9:12 a.m. on the 19th, after he finished the exchange and return.
You can also provide still shots from the relevant portions of the surveillance system captures of Joe Guy on November the 18th and 19th of 2016.
Yes, sir.
I believe it's 709 through 731, sir. I'm going to throw it and show you what's been pre-marked. It states Exhibit 709 through 731 for identification. And I ask you if you recognize those pictures, sir.
These are screenshot or images from the videos that we just watched.
Are those fair and accurate copy of the still shots that we created, sir?
Yes, sir.
And we've moved those in as States Exhibits 709 through 730.
Previous objection was either the 709 through 730. Would you say 731? I did.
Bring your attention to the board. You just tell us what this is, and I'll go through these pretty quickly.
It's the defendant entering the Academy Sporting Goods on November 18th at 4:24 p.m. Another image when he's on the aisle in front of the firearms and knives section on 11/18 at 4:26 p.m.
Same photo, sir?
Yes, sir, same close.
Next photo.
Same date, 11/18 at 4:28 p.m., walking back towards the front of the store. November 18th, 2016, this was at 4:30 at the checkout. Again, 11/18, 2016, 4:31 as the defendant walks out the door. Following day, November 19th, 2016, 9:06 a.m., defendant enters the door with a bag. November 19th, this was at 9:07 in the morning. He was in the same aisle he was in the previous day. He's walking back towards the main aisle that will take you to the front of the store. November 19th, 2016, 9:08 a.m., he's at the exchange counter. Same date, November 19th, 2016, 9:12 a.m., interacting with the clerk at the exchange counter. Yes, sir. Different angle from the November 19th, 9:08 a.m., when he's still waiting in line to get to the clerk. Same photo. November 19, 2016, 9:09 a.m. In line there with his bag, the item that he got from the aisle and the receipt. Same date, November 19th, 2016. This is 9/11, when he's getting ready to have discussion with the clerk.
Can you see the physical knife in that handcuff?
Yes, sir, it's in his left hand, still in the container or the packaging. Just as more same detail picture. (9:19, 9:12), right at 9:13 a.m., the defendant exits, going out to the parking lot.
Last, I want to ask you whether or not you had the occasion to travel to Walmart in Baton Rouge
Yes, sir.
in response to potential videos with Joel Michael Guy Jr. In them.
Yes, sir, the one on Burbank Avenue.
Okay. And at that store, did you talk to a Leanne Hildebrandt?
Yes, sir.
And do you recall what her position was within Walmart?
Well, I'd call him an asset protection manager.
And while you're at Walmart, were you able to view video from a transaction on November the 21st of 2016?
Yes, sir.
Sure. And Your Honor, I would now like to publish what's previously been entered as State's Exhibit 350. That was the surveillance footage from Leanne Hildebrand pursuant to a 902 affidavit that the court found sufficient.
This is exactly Walmart.
It is, Your Honor. Directing your attention to the board, sir. Could you tell us what this video is?
This is the overview of the checkouts at Walmart.
You would tell us the date and time stamp?
November 21st, 2016, approximately 3:25 p.m.
You let us know individual you believe to be Joe Michael Guy Jr. enters the frame.
You can see him at the top. He's turning into the self-checkout. He's pushing the cart with the containers in it. He's wearing shorts and a white shirt.
What color are the containers?
Blue.
I'd like to go to zoom in view of that.
Still November 21st at 3:25. It's kind of an overhead view. That's the defendant, just came into the screen. At the bottom of the screen, you can see the parts of the containers and the top of the defendant's head. And he pays with cash, and he used the hand scanner to scan the totes.
What color is the handle on the tote?
Can you repeat that?
What color is the handle on the tote?
Gray.
Again, the form of payment.
Cash transactions. You can see he's having problems with the bill receiver. put the receipt in the totes and got his change, and he'll exit.
Were you able to review outside security camera from a pole?
Yes, sir. You see the defendant walking towards his car, which is parked by the black pickup truck.
Present the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Tell us what he's doing.
Removes the bag that he had placed inside the totes in the car, comes back and forth. Then he actually pulls another tote, basically the same type tote out, puts it in that tote he just bought, and then he puts both of them back in the car. You got to put the tops in.
No questions, John.
Thank you, Special Agent. You may sit down. You're free to go. Have a good show.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks. We'll take this to lunchtime. Go ahead and break now with the same instructions. That is, do not discuss this case among yourselves or with anyone else. Do not watch any media during lunch, or if you get on your phones, only use that to call your friends and loved ones. Don't do any research on the case. You can leave your notebooks in your chairs. Go with the officers. I'll see you after lunch. I hope you enjoy it, folks. You may be seated. The attorneys, please approach. An extra half an hour for lunch today. We're going to be in recess till 1:20. All right. Lunchtime, come back at 1:20.